Was for the first time in a long while. Mazes, okay, it's coming to you back live. We've been busy, as you all know, at the ground zero. So now we only attend to courts and do other basketballs. It's been a very lovely time that we've been here on the ground zero. I say welcome once more and joining me on my program. My name is Mazes.
ABC Nigeria, Nigeria from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom.
This one I say, don't stumble it. I'm doing water. Everything is not funny. They will play me fun. I play like this. My neighbor press one. He goes the fall apart.
Falling apart. Indeed, things are falling apart. Things are falling apart very quickly and even quicker than many of us could imagine. It has been an eventful 2 weeks now from, um, I would say, I know some of you will take offense, but I would say from fake men of God who obviously predicted that something was going to happen on the 29th, that certain individuals were going to be arrested. Obviously, people like me never believed in it. But sadly, some of you actually believed that on the 29th, someone was going to be arrested and whisked away from the podium. But be that as it may, that is now by the way. It didn't happen, and there was no logic to it, because I tell us things are logical in this world. Like someone said yesterday, empirical evidence. When things are not based on empiricism, sadly, sometimes some men of us, it does not make sense. But let's not dwell too much on that. What is the bane of contention today? If you recall that many months ago, I did, not even months, I recall in 2020, in 2018, I probably was the first person that had the boldness to call the Nigerian Airways that was launched in Farnborough in Surrey, England, United Kingdom, a fraud. You know the reason why I call that a fraud then? Because I have never seen the level of unpreparedness when a nation wants to launch their national carrier. Just to do a logo design, Nigeria spent $600,000. $600,000 with a company in Bahrain. Now, who does that? Who goes to a different country to launch its own national carrier? For many of you who do not know what Farnborough Air Show is, Farnborough Air Show is nothing than trade fair. Imagine a country like Togo coming into Nigeria, any trade fair in Nigeria, say they are launching their national carrier without the people back home knowing. That was unveiled. In order to tell you that these people are not even smart in their scam. In 2018, the Nigerian Air was unveiled in Farnborough. While it was unveiled, a young man in Yaba, Lagos, registered nigerianair.com. Now, who does that? Isn't that mental illness that you're spending 600,000 on branding and on logo design. Logo design that you could have thrown out as a challenge for young Nigerians. They would have given you one of the best logos on this planet. Nigeria has one of the best talent on this planet Earth. You could have used it as a challenge, even if it was 500, even if it was 1 million, even if it was 100,000, even if it was zero money, but just challenge Nigerian graphic designers, give us a national challenge that whoever, gets this will have that logo, obviously written everywhere that you are the one that designed that logo. No, we didn't do it. But we went to Bahrain to pay $600,000. $600,000. Now, do the math. As of that time, dollars was, was about 520 as of that time. Now, you can do the math. How much we spent in the United Kingdom, in Farnborough, to do what? To just do a logo design and branding. Fast forward, you came back, the whole thing failed. I recall that Tobias Ezekwesili, after the incident in Farnborough, made a tweet that Nigeria doesn't actually need a national carrier. Rather, they should look for private individual that they can support to float that. Surprise, surprise. Then Allen Onyama, APs, came into the picture. Hey, so many people kicked against it for obvious reasons. I don't want to dwell into that. That is the Nigeria for you. What then happens if you fast forward now, suddenly in 2021, we are told by October we are going to have a brand new national carrier. And the conversation continued. Fast forward again. We are told that by April 2022, the reason why I wouldn't forget the date of April is because April is my birthday. It's my birth month. And I was looking forward to that, even when I did not believe it, because I only bet with a friend of mine who is a Buhari fundamentalist, because even Buhari poo-poos, does anything as mad as it sounds. The individual in question would never believe that he has done anything wrong. And in this case, it became another fluke. But the worst of it then happened 3 days to handing over. Hadi Sirika, the former Minister of Aviation, committed a heist with some certain people, gathered individuals, brought them all together, said they are going to give Nigeria a national carrier. That plane was registered to ET, Ethiopian Airlines. They went, hired, sometimes I don't understand what was running in their brain that they could actually think that Nigerians are so idiotic that they will never know, let them pull this heist and move away. And we spent again humongous amounts of money to hire this plane, bring it in, paint it, let it land, say it will. Anyway, let me bring, I think, the Arise crew here. Let them actually, they've done fantastic work on this. Let's have a listen here.
After members of the Senate Committee on Aviation expressed dissatisfaction at the unveiling of the purported national carrier, the launch of Nigeria Air with just one aircraft, on the last working day of the Buhari administration on May 26, 2023, was declared by the chairman of the House Committee on Aviation, Nolim Naji, a fraud after major stakeholders in the deal between the federal government and Ethiopian Airlines denied knowledge of the launch. Circle, which the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, named as one of the shareholders of the 46%, said to belong to Nigerian institutional investors.
Now, the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, is named as one of the investors. Now, that alone on its own, it's a crime. You cannot, as a sitting minister, have interest in something you're floating for the federal government. That alone. Yet, no one, not even, the man who told us that he came to fight corruption, suddenly corruption under his watch, grown wings, sewn agbada, sewn trouser, and sewn peteri to actually torment Nigerians.
Denied at the House session that they had anything to do with the airline and that the shareholders announced by the minister did not contribute a dime to the purported airline. They also claimed that every expenditure came from the federal government. The MD of the Nigeria Airspace Management Agency also stated that the aircraft which the minister brought in as Nigeria Air was a chartered Ethiopian aircraft.
Now, how can all these adults you're looking at now, these adults, these are people's parents and brothers and sisters gathered together on a chartered plane to pose this heist? Honestly, words fail me because I do not know what they were thinking, that our brains are all roasted corn, that they were going to do this and go back home. Suddenly, we will not know what happened. What were they thinking?
And that the aircraft does not belong to the national carrier, ICRC, the body which gives the final compliance certificate to government businesses, has not given approval to the Ministry of Aviation to carry on with the national carrier due to the pending court order filed by AON. They claim that the House Committee meeting, that they knew nothing about the launch of the Nigeria airline. I mean, this has caused a lot of reactions on social media. You know, I'd like to come to you on the story. A lot of questions here. I mean, the fact that SACOL had pulled out, saying that, you know, they had nothing to do with the airline. I mean, what does that signify?
Now, those that were supposed to give license, those who were supposed to give their nod, those who were supposed to do what it takes to ensure that this airline takes off, are now all pulling out. Why? Question is, why did they not raise their voice ab initio? Many of us who, since 2018, based on, honestly, if you ask me, one of the best things that I would have wished for Nigeria is for us to have a functional airline that would crash the prices of international travel imposed on us by Virgin Atlantic and British Airways, even Delta Airways, right? It would help us on that. But when you look at empirical data, when you look at evidence, listen, guys, you have to. 2 plus 2 cannot be 21. 2 plus 2 must, as long as mathematics is concerned, would end up 4. And in this case, this was what was happening, because this meant absolutely and made absolutely no sense.
I mean, does it mean that the Minister of Aviation had used our taxes for this? I mean, what
they said was that they were not invited to the unveiling, so they were
But
not
they also
aware.
denied, like you heard me, saying that they did not contribute a dime.
Yes, so people question that. So the billions of naira that had been sent prior to the logo, the unveiling. Earlier on, I'd questioned how much money was spent even for that ceremony. That now, in terms of nomenclature, we're trying to identify whether it was an unveiling or a launch. What we heard was that it was a launch. It was an aircraft that arrived on Nigerian soil, and it had the flag painted on the wings and all that. And there were pictures taken, and people said we were launching something on the 26th of May, 2023. Now we find out that it's not even there. Other questions, OGs.
You see, it's only in Nigeria that we'll begin to think in this way. Suddenly we are questioning if it was a launch or unveiling. It's only in Nigeria. 8 freaking years. 8 freaking years. A man who, when he was contesting for the presidency in 2014, told Nigerians that Goodluck Jonathan had 11 private jets. That when he is sworn in, he was going to sell these private jets and start an airline for Nigeria. 8 freaking years. None of those jets were sold. Those jets were kept as presidential jets to add salt to injury. He could not do a freaking dime. The same way as Minister of Petroleum for 8 freaking years, he could not rebuild one refinery, not to talk of building one extra. Yet the same man who said in their APC manifesto that they will be building one refinery every year, then you ask them the APC, the Agbado gang, where are the refineries? Where are the refineries? These questions must be asked.
That there's an MD, Dapo Lumide,
Right.
and people have asked, what office was he working from? Who were his, what staff, who was he reporting to? What was the structure in that particular office? Because they don't have a website. I don't know if they have a registered office. So it just feels like Nigerians were taken for a ride.
Yes, I mean, with all of these approvals lacking, and what are we saying? That the minister went ahead in defiance of the court order. You know, people have been sending tweets. I'll take one more tweet. This is Preach Love, says, since the reps have declared that the Nigeria Air launch is a fraud, I'd like to confirm if Hadi Sirika has been arrested for deceiving Nigerians. I mean, this is actually the...
Okay. I am not the one that said it, but it's been said. So what is preventing EFCC, ICPC, DSS, or whatever from arresting Hadi Sirika? Why? 3 weeks ago, I tweeted the pictures of Enugu International Airport runway. This runway took me 1 year of my life to campaign for this runway to be rebuilt. And during the COVID time, the president approved 10 billion naira for this runway to be done. As I speak to you, the pictures I took 3 weeks ago from this runway and attacked the man before he left office. Potholes where we spent 10 effing billion. Potholes are on those runways as we speak. Potholes are on those runways. Yet, it's the same man that supervised that. He is the same man who was at the helm of this heist. Yet, he's somewhere in Castina, walking free in the new palace that he built.
Point, we only have about maybe 30 seconds if you want to add to this really quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. It is a fraud because, like I said, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck,
Absolutely.
then it's a duck. And that's what I was trying to say the other time. This is a complete fraud. The minister has taken Nigerians for a ride. It should be investigated. And this government of President Tinubu should investigate this and make sure that Ministry of Aviation gets the right people within that organization to spell out everything that happened, how much money was spent, how much. I mean, imagine the thing you walked through that was supposed to be one.
Anyway, the bottom line here is...
And each one was costing so many millions. It's unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
Well, I mean, we need to know what actually is going on.
You know, sometimes one is really short of words. And in this case, I am short of words. Because I'm wondering, why? Why would a man do this to a nation of over 200 million human beings? Femi and Nicola Bokuti will say 200 million momos. 200 million momos. How can that happen? And everyone is keeping quiet. The next thing, some of you who have come to my inbox telling me, Mazi, calm down. They will come after you. Come after me for what? Yes, I'm in Abuja. Let them come after me. Come after me for since 2018. I've been saying that these Nigerian Airways, Nigerian Air, is a fraud. How can you start an airline in 2018? You went to Fambro in the United Kingdom. You did not have any single website. Who does that? Who registered the business? If in your project management, when you, product launch, products, whatever you call it, one of the first things in your brainstorming session will be website, logo design. Yeah. You have your point. It took one young man in Yaba, Lagos. Once the unveiling happened, he looked at it. You see, the guy was faster than myself because I had my MacBook on. I just typed in Nigerian Air because I was watching it live. There was no website. It appeared that young man registered it faster than myself. Now, what did they do? They called his action criminal act. Yet the real criminals who have been perpetrating this act, no one is telling us we wasted Nigerian taxpayers' money. $600,000 was wasted in 2001. Now, how many billions have we wasted? How many thousands of dollars did it cost us to go rent an aircraft, hire an aircraft, and go and paint it? Come and fly and tell us, oh, up to today, as I speak to you, there is no single office. Forget what they have in Abuja there, because that's not an office. When I talk about office, office means who are the management board, who are the staff members, how many people work here, how many are there in their payroll, what is their office address, which route are they flying. Shame. Shame, actually, is one of those things that one will say, Buhari, honestly, you supervised over the shame. And that's a shame. Shame, really. Because 8 years, you wasted all the good effort and all the goodwill that Nigerians, those that voted for you, because I didn't vote, and for those who thought we were mad by opposing and saying we did not vote, good luck. 8 years now, you know where you are. 8 years down the line, our lives wasted 8 years. Wasted 8 years. I recall in 2014, 2015, if I go to America, dollar was 157. Sometimes that it has gone so high, it's 168. Today, dollar is approaching 800. Yet these were people who campaigned. Oh, you are buying dollar 198. Are you happy? Are our parents safe? As if our parents are safer today. Where is safe? Where? We have a new government. Yeah, the ones that are the new government that is turning right about on. The one that took over, the first thing he did was to send everything haywire, needlessly. Anyway, so aside that one, the second plank of my discussion and conversation this evening is on why is INEC rejecting the documents that they issued. The Labour Party legal team has accused INEC of rejecting consistently. Thanks goodness to the presidential election petition court that always had ignored INEC on this trajectory, overruled INEC in most cases. But now it is not only a Labour Party affair. Before, many people watching will say, oh, it's an obedient thing. No. Even the PDP, even the articulated ones, even the Atiku, have joined in the cry. They are now also joining and saying INEC is also rejecting the documents. I mean, listen to this yourself, because these things are sometimes mind-boggling that you can't even make these things up.
Quite surprising that the documents INEC has been objecting to these past days, that we have been tendering documents, are all certified true copies of INEC's documents. These are documents we applied for to INEC, and by law, INEC is authorized to release these documents to us after certification.
You see, hey, have you ever seen a university denying students that they taught? Have you ever seen a university denying their own certificates that you collect after you must have graduated from your course of study? This is exactly what INEC is doing. The question is, why is INEC? Please join me here. Let us discuss why is INEC rejecting their own documents. Why? Why is
And
it?
INEC received money from us, and we have the receipt for even a particular batch that we paid 6.69 million naira for documents. And upon receipt of our money, they certified the documents. CTC means you are certifying that this is the true copy of the original.
Certified true copy.
That is what the Evidence Act says. And that is what the Electoral Act mandates INEC to do. So it's surprising that the same documents, which are result sheets at various levels that were issued by INEC, now certified by INEC, and INEC turns around to
Nigeria.
object.
Nigeria. INEC turns around. INEC turns around to reject their own document, the document that they issued. Kai, in this case, Buhari will say Nigeria from top to bottom.
ABC, Nigeria, Nigeria, from top to bottom, top to bottom.
Nigeria from top to bottom. How can you reject what you have collected 6-point-something million to issue to people, certifying them that this is a true copy of what you have, yet you go ahead and reject it?
That was to doubt those documents. If they are now casting aspersion, casting doubt, even on the documents, then it raises the question of integrity. And this is a government institution, a public institution, who once you issue a document and certify it, it is assumed that it is a correct one. So we'll continue to watch. This is Nigeria. Anything can happen.
So we continue to watch. This is Nigeria. Anything can happen. You see, Professor Mike Ozokome, SAN there. And you also saw the legal team of Atiku Abubakar there. Now, this is no longer labor issue. This is Nigerian issue. This is, so, these things, you can't make them up. Honestly, you can't make them up. Maybe we'll have to, just basically clap for INEC. INEC, you don't worry. Just clap for you. Why is INEC denying their own document? I can only hazard a guess here. And I'll round up with the following, because I want this broadcast to be under 30 minutes. But on Friday, we're going to have my usual Friday hangout. And on Saturday, we're going to have Street Parliament. Please do join me. I'll have wonderful guests on these 2 days. I can take a guess why INEC is running away from their own document. There is an Igbo adage that says that the owl became afraid of its own baby when he saw the bulging eyes. INEC appears in this case that their shadow is after them. INEC appears to have poo-pooed in front of the church. Suddenly, when they accept that this is their document, they will look stupid and silly. And if things were to be in a way that it ought to be, some people definitely must eventually be headed to prison. But in this part of the world, would prison be an option? Well, we have, they say the fish gets rotten from the head. The head that we currently have is not the head that can actually fight anything seriously. But nonetheless, I think, and I make bold to say it this night, that INEC is running away from his own shadows Because if INEC boldly and come openly to accept these documents, INEC may be publicly accepting and telling the world how and where the body was buried. INEC, in this case, I believe, without equivocation, that they are hiding because they know that they rigged the 2023 presidential election. That note, that's a Join Me on Friday. My name remains Mazes, okay? And join us also this evening. We are still working on some of the videos to upload from the court today. And tomorrow we are still heading back to the court. Every day, the court, will be giving you update, and you get the real gist from there. That is why we explore the truth behind the headlines. I remain Mazes, okay? And this is still Njenje Media TV. Good night.